Hello, everybody, and welcome to the San Diego vendor orientation for the second part of our 4-event tour for in 2023. For those of you that were part of our LA event, welcome, and technically no, welcome back. And for those that are new, welcome to our vendor preparation meeting. For our second stop, we will be going to the Mar Fairgrounds, which is also the location of the annual county fair down in San Diego.
The different floor plans of the halls, setup and decorations, show policies, COVID policies, internet, electricity. Then we'll be answering all your questions and adding on to with a health orientation.
Yes, so for those that are food vendors, make sure to stay to the very end as we'll be going over some general health guidelines. And remember, as we're live streaming this right now, questions are always welcome in the live chat. Please ask at any time and our staff team members will be there to answer any of your questions.
Will be info@lightsandsounds.org. Make sure you're emailing .org and not .com.
Correct.
And for each event brand specific contact, for Anime Impulse, it'll be help@animeimpulse.com. Kplayfest, help@kplayfest.com. And for Sneaker Expo, help@sneakerexpo.com.
In a nutshell, help at the domain for the event that you guys are participating at.
To our setup hours, the first day of setup will be March 17th, Friday, from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. During this time, vehicles will be allowed on site. Next day for setup will be event day, which is March 18th, Saturday, from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., and March 19th, Sunday, from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. There will be security on site to help direct traffic during move in and move out.
Very important. Sorry for cutting you off because this is super important. I really want to enunciate this because on the slide we have it in red text. Vehicles will only be allowed on site during Friday setup hours. So what I mean by that is on Friday, you can drive in and you can pull up next to the building and unload next to the building. Versus on the event day, you'll have to park in the vendor parking lot and then handcart to your booth. It makes a world of a difference. And for vendors that always ask, well, I have, lots of perishable things that I need to bring on the day of. Well, the simple solution for that is what you want to do is on Friday, you want to bring all the heavy duty things, the racks, the shelving, maybe even the rental refrigeration equipment or display materials. And then you bring in the valuables actually the morning of when it's not as heavy, so you can just hand cart that at the.
Vendors will be responsible for transporting their own goods, and for event days, vendors must hand cart their merchandise from the parking lot.
That is why it is very, very important, and I cannot keep I really have to push this. You definitely do want to utilize Friday all day from 10 a.m. to the end of the day to do your load in.
Event day hours. Saturday event day will be March 18th from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then second day, March 19th, Sunday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Please expect heavy vehicle traffic upon arrival on both days. All vendors must arrive 2 hours by 8 a.m. before the start of each event date, both Saturday and Sunday.
And we always say and remind vendors to come early, at least 2 hours before, is because a lot of the attendees actually start queuing up 2 hours before the event. So that's why we definitely want to make sure, especially at 10 o'clock when doors open, all vendors are ready to go to start selling. So move out, it's just the reverse of our entire move-in process.
Sunday from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. No vehicles will be allowed on site until all guests have vacated the event. Keeping that in mind, then the move out may be delayed if attendees are still on event premises. So last call for selling will be Sunday at 6:45 p.m. Vendors may transport their goods to the vehicles after each event day prior to vehicles being allowed on site, and any products left behind after midnight will be trashed.
Correct. And the most important thing I also want to cover again would be last call for selling at 6:45. We'll also have our teams out there reminding everyone. The reason why we set last call at 6:45 is that this way vendors can make sure everyone is properly served by 7 o'clock at the end of the event. So then at 7, we can promptly end and that, our attendees can leave the premises so that we can properly start handling our move out. For general public safety, we will not allow any move out until all attendees have left the event grounds so that then we can allow vehicles to come onto the actual event grounds. As you can see on the next slide, This is a map of our whole venue, specifically the parking map of the venue. As you can see on the left-hand side is the West Lot vendor parking lot. All vendors must enter through the Solana gate. The vendor package that we send to you, it's a PDF, has the address on this, okay? So the entrance is called the Solana Gate entrance at 322 Via de la Valle, okay? We will have parking, there will be parking staff on site as well too, to direct vendors when they come on site. So it should be quite explanatory when vendors are coming in for both move in and move out. As for this venue at the Mar Fairgrounds, all vendors will be in a consolidated parking lot that enters in through Solana, meaning move in, event day, and move out, it will all be through the Solana gate. And parking is $15 per entry at the event. And my understanding is that this parking is actually good for the whole day and possibly the whole weekend. Waiting to finalize on that. And if there are any new updates, we'll definitely look forward to letting you guys know about that as well. So going on to the next slide, as you can see on this colorful diagram, this is the major layout for the event itself. In total, our event will be hosted in a total of 3 buildings. As you can see in green, our food is outdoors, and with the main stage that's outdoors as well too. In total, our 3 buildings are the O'Brien Hall, Bing Crosby Hall, and the Exhibit Hall. That is a big mouthful. So based off of that, Anime Impulse will be in the O'Brien Hall, which is on that previous diagram, the building on the right. As you can see on this slide, O'Brien will be fully dedicated to Anime Impulse. Next is the Bing Crosby Hall, which is the building in the middle, which will be shared between K-Play Fest and Anime Impulse's, I believe, the Artist Alley section for the event. And last but not least, on the floor plan, we will be having Sneaker Expo in the exhibit hall, shared with Anime Impulse's entertainment hall, which would be the meet and greets and the other specific programming, such as the arcade games, sponsor space, and even, the anime-themed maid cafe. That was a big mouthful.
Moving to indoor setup notes. An indoor booth will come with a pipe and drape that's 10 by 10, an 8-foot table, and 2 chairs. For the Artist Alley setup, you'll be receiving a 6-foot table and 2 chairs. All events will be using the same indoor setup type. The only difference will be the drape color configuration.
Anime Impulse, black and yellow. Sneaker Expo, I believe all black. K-Play Fest is blue and white. Correct.
Outdoor setup notes. This will be for our food vendors. A food booth setup will come with a 10 by 10 pipe and drape booth with 4 sides enclosed and 1 mesh wall front, an 8-foot table, and 2 chairs.
Just letting you guys know, all the outdoor food booths are set up per health compliance, which means 4 sides completely enclosed. So please make sure not to take that down, as the health inspectors will be checking for that.
Some decoration notes. Vendors will be responsible for all booth decorations and displays. Some examples are lights, banners, signs, brochures, a TV, and different goodies, and etc. All decoration materials must be made out of non-flammable material, and all booth decorations may not exceed 8 feet in height. Your booth will be 8 feet in height, so just don't go past that height. Vendors will be liable for any replacement costs for the rental equipment damages, for example, the pipe and drape, tables, and chairs.
Correct. And how to get into the event?
Only e-tickets may be used for event access. That can be either printed or on your mobile device, and anything can be accepted in that format. Badges will only be used for vendor identifying purposes. It will not grant you entry into the event. Hand stamps will be required for re-entry, and they will be given out at entrances.
Correct. So our security team will be stamping people on their way out from the entrance exits. In regards to the venue safety side, we will have public safety security, both from the venue side and our own private security that will be patrolling showgrounds during event hours. However, just because we have security, we still want to use some common sense. AKA, vendor booths must be staffed at all times. Please do not leave your valuables behind. And on the event organizer side, we are not responsible for anything lost, stolen, or damaged. Food and beverage policy.
Pepsi American beverages may be sold or sampled at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. There is no limit, however, on different craft and Asian beverages. Number one rule is that no soda, water, or any alcoholic beverages may be sold during the event.
And to kind of drive that point home, we actually went visual on this one.
say Aquafina can be sold at our event?
No, Aquafina cannot be sold at the event. And that is because Aquafina will be sold by the venue themselves who have an exclusive. So Aquafina is the Pepsi beverage. However, in this case, as we mentioned earlier, any bottled waters are only allowed to be sold by, I believe it's Premier Foods, which is the on-site food and beverage concessions from the Mar Fairgrounds.
So did you say that you can sell Asian tea?
Bottled green tea? Yes, I can, because Pepsi don't sell this. The venue for sure, I know they do not sell this.
Tecate.
Tecate? The beer?
Yes, the beer.
As much as I want to say yes, the answer is no, because same thing with their on-site concessions. Anything related to alcohol has to be handled by them.
Beverage such as boba.
Boba is definitely allowed because it's handmade. It's not in a commercially prepackaged bottles. The Pepsi limitation for the drinks is everything only in a bottled setting. So that kind of just runs through the policies that the venue has. We definitely have this also in our vendor manual, just to kind of remind you guys again. Next, going on to COVID safety. What's COVID? I'm kidding. But health and safety is definitely our priority. We follow all California state law, which means policies may change without notice. As the moment while I'm checking as of this morning, COVID infection rates are barely non-existent. However, we still want to maintain a very safe environment for all parties. So definitely if attendees or vendors want to wear face masks, you're more than welcome to. And if there are any new policies or any new updates from the state of California, we will definitely be the first to let everybody know about that. Let's talk internet.
Mar Fairgrounds. It's going to be a paid service and for internet only on event days. They offer wireless and hardline internet options. Please inquire with your event main email for more information about ordering internet.
Or when in doubt, email info@lightsandsounds.org. Now, let's talk about electricity because power is very important for lighting, powering equipment, charging phones for the weekend. So with the Del Mar Fairgrounds, they have an authorized electrical provider, which is Edelin. They're the only authorized event electrical provider, meaning even us on the event organizer side, we have to book electricity from Edelin. So as a strong reminder to all vendors to order sufficient voltage for all booth electrical needs, when in doubt, contact Edelin. We've definitely provided all the information on our website and on the vendor manual. No power generators are allowed with the venue. All electricity has to go through Edelin directly. And in terms of electricity safety, like we said, make sure to order sufficient electricity. When you have any questions, please ask Ellen directly for that. They will provide the electricity that was ordered as dropped to the booth. However, vendors are still responsible for bringing their own extension cords for, let's say, splitting the power and pulling it to a very specific area of the booth. As a reminder, do not daisy chain any power cables, and electricity will go live for all booths by 3 p.m. on Friday. For those that do not know what daisy chaining is, as you can see from this image up here, daisy chaining is when you have multiple sockets or multiple surge protectors and you kind of just crisscross all of them. A lot of people like doing this. The fire department strongly advises against this as it is a potential fire hazard. So let's go through a couple final reminders, as I'm sure we're almost at the midpoint of today's presentation. Make sure to
arrive by 8 a.m. on Saturday, March 18th, also 8 a.m. on Sunday, March 19th.
Because I have a very, very good idea that a lot of attendees will be arriving by that time.
E-tickets are needed for entry, not badges, e-tickets.
And just letting everybody know, on today, March 1st, when we are releasing this video, our e-tickets will also be sent out by the end of the day today. So if you have not received it, please reach out as soon as possible. You can inquire right now on the group chat or email directly to know more information about that. So let's take a quick break time, which is not really a true break, but just another public service announcement, which is that this event, the San Diego tour, is the second of our 4 events in 2023. Our next 2 events will be Bay Area on the weekend of July 29th, 30th, Orange County, September 2nd to 3rd. And just to let some of you guys know as well too, we've just locked in our dates also for LA 2024, which will be January 13th to 14th. So just a quick PSA just to let everyone know what our upcoming schedule looks like, and we look forward to seeing everybody there.
So some frequently asked questions, we'll be answering certain questions right now. Gordon, can you get into Anime Impulse with a K-Play Fast ticket?
Yes, you can. One ticket from any of the events grants you access to any of the other events. So for example, I can buy a ticket for Sneaker Expo, I can get into K-Play Fest. I can buy a ticket from Anime Impulse, I can get into Sneaker Expo. All our tickets grant full access to our event.
Can you bring your own power generator?
Unfortunately, no. All electricity must go through Edelin.
How can I ship goods and product samples directly to the venue?
As from the venue standpoint, there is no merchandise receiving services, meaning all vendors must be responsible for the receiving of any products that they do ship to the venue. AKA, if you really are going to FedEx something over there, make sure you do have someone on your company's staff team there ready to receive it. As from the event organizer side, we do not have the ability to handle any form of product receiving.
Own decorator or production setup company?
Usually this is something that's usually with our sponsors that they'll ask as they have certain specific setup requirements. The answer is yes with a big asterisk. The answer is yes. However, as a guideline from the Del Mar Fairgrounds, any production company that is coming on site will need to provide their insurance COI, which is the certificate of their insurance. So regarding bringing in their own decorator company, this is perfectly fine. Make sure to email us so we have that on file. It's more the Del Mar Fairgrounds, less us.
How to get to exhibit hall during move-in if I have never been to the Del Mar Fairgrounds?
We will have proper signage on site, and at the same time, remember, there will be parking staff also directing traffic. So just let them know which building you're going to or which event you'll be part of, and they'll be more than happy to direct you in the right direction.
So you can look at our layout that we showed earlier to look at the map.
Correct.
Okay, next question. How close can I get to the buildings during the move-in and move-out days?
You can honestly get as close as right next to the building as long as you are not blocking any entrance or exit gates.
Can I set up my vendor booth?
The highest that you can set up your vendor booth is 8 feet. So within a 10 by 10 pipe and drape booth, it only goes up 8 feet. So do not exceed the height of your pipe and drape booth. I think that would be the easiest way to explain it.
Tent top display?
Tent top displays are not allowed indoors per fire department guidelines, as in the event of a fire, if the sprinklers do need to go off, a tent top would prevent the sprinklers from fully, handling what they're normally made to be doing. So no tent top displays are allowed.
Can I have music from my booth?
Yes, music from booths are allowed. However, we also recommend, letting your neighbors to your left and right know about it and making sure that it's at an audio level that doesn't disturb your neighbors.
What time can I get to the venue earliest to access buildings on setup days, Saturday and Sunday?
On Saturday, Sunday, we mentioned earlier for move-in, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. are the early move-in hours. So the earliest time vendors can get access to the buildings will be at 7 a.m.
What is the latest I can stay in the building at the end of each day?
So for Saturday, our event ends at 7 o'clock. The latest that people will be able to stay in the buildings are about 9 o'clock, after which we'll be locking down all the buildings. For the second day on Sunday, that will be move-out day. We're planning to allow vendors to finish their move-out by 11 p.m.
Wi-Fi available at the venue?
Yes, there's Wi-Fi available. However, this is a paid service that you'll need to contact Del Mar Fairgrounds to get access to.
Can I still order electricity once the event starts?
No, unfortunately, Edelin will not have a show office on site, meaning make sure to put in your electricity order as soon as possible and to make sure to double check that the week before move-in just to make sure they do have your electricity order. As if I remember correctly, they're going to start pulling electricity by Wednesday of that week, so before all the vendors move in.
Policy on counterfeit and gray market goods.
Lights and Sounds has a very strict policy where we do not allow any form of counterfeit or gray market goods. Any vendors or artist alleys found to be selling any possibly suspicious counterfeit or gray market will be immediately vacated from the event premises with no refunds issued, as we take all matters of intellectual property very seriously. Only official merchandise goods or licensed collaborations only.
Our vendor orientation. We hope to see you guys all at San Diego And moving on, we will be doing our food vendor orientation.
Correct. So for those of you that will be serving food for the event, just hang with us for another 5 more minutes as there's just a couple key important things that we want to go over with you guys. So on to the health portion. So for our event, we are under the management scope of the County of San Diego Health and Human Services Agency, aka Health Department down in San Diego. So a couple guidelines are all food vendors are required to have a temporary food facility vendor permit. By the time we're doing this orientation, you guys should have already all filled out your forms and submitted to us. If not, please get that done by today, as health department representatives will be on site before the event doing inspections. They will have floor plans. They'll know where all the food vendors are located. Let's make sure we have all our paperwork arranged.
All food vendors will be required to have a hand washing station, which includes a 5-gallon container with warm water that is at least 100 degrees Fahrenheit. They'll also be required to have a pump-style soap dispenser, paper towels, and a bucket to collect the wastewater after washing your hands.
Correct. And this is the hand washing station, which is something that all food vendors need to have for their own booth. From the event organizer side, we will be providing the 3-compartment sinks for utensil washing. However, that is not sufficient in terms of hand washing capabilities. Health department still requires all booths to have their own hand washing station. And make sure for soap, it's liquid soap, not bar soap, and hand sanitizer does not work.
All cold foods must be kept at 45 degrees Fahrenheit or below. For hot foods, they must be kept at 200 and 135 degrees Fahrenheit or above. Each booth must have accurate probe thermometer to check temperatures when health department starts coming around for inspection. Please prepare sufficient cooling and heating equipment to adhere to these requirements for temperature.
And just to let you guys know, I am very sure there will be an ice service again. We'll definitely let you guys know. Feel free to just reach out to us and we'll confirm regarding the on-site ice order service for the 2 event days. As remember, temperature control is very, very important. I know that's one of the major things that the health department checks for when they're doing their rounds. And in general, when it comes to the health portion, we know that most vendors that usually participate at events, they're very well seasoned. Seasoned not on the food side, but as in knowing their compliances, meaning knowing how to keep raw meats from vegetables, knowing to use single-serve utensils for certain things with possible raw meats, and making sure to clean and sanitize all equipment after every single major use. Gloves, face masks, and hairs tied up in hair nets. These are just general food safety policies, which I'm sure most of our vendors know about. If you guys have any further questions, feel free to reach out to us at any time. Our main email that we have been promoting nonstop today is still info@lightsandsounds.org. With that being said, I think I am done on my side for today. Do you have anything else you would like to add?
Questions. Thank you for coming to our orientation. Look forward to seeing you all in San Diego.
Yep, we look forward to seeing all of you guys in San Diego. Take care, guys. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.